Hi, Nick here with MedTech World. With me is Jordan Pollack with VeinWay Limited. You're an engineer.
Yes, that's correct.
Cool. And your game started. How did you get into this business?
That's a great question, Nick. Well, I was working at Boston Scientific actually as an engineer, and I worked on peripheral arterial devices. So I had a lot of experience in catheters and balloon catheters, for example, and self-expanding stents. And then I actually left for personal reasons to move to Israel. Now, Boston Scientific is one of the partners of the MedTech Accelerator, which is located in Israel. So I was in contact with them before I moved there. And about a year after I'd moved to Israel, it was actually during the COVID-19 pandemic. I was let go from my job that I was working at before due to the pandemic itself. And they actually reached out to me at the Accelerator and they said, "Hey, Jordan, we've got this unmet clinical need around chronic venous occlusions. Do you want to take this, maybe build a company around it, learn more about it?" And I was like, absolutely, I'm your guy. Because I had been waiting for such an opportunity and I just seized on it. And now, 3.5 years later, here we are with a great product.
And that was VeinWay.
That was VeinWay.
They were small at the time, but what stage were they at the time?
Well, no, I mean, they just came to me with the
need.
unmet need and asked me to build a company around it. So it was really just me at the beginning and as part of the Accelerator. Then I brought on my partner, Ben, who joined me. We worked together we got our first funding from the Accelerator and the Israel Innovation Authority as our seed funding. And then we went on and built our first couple of prototypes and demonstrated that we're onto something. And now here we are at MedTech World and raising a big Series A round with a lot of interest.
Cool. But you knew as soon as you heard that there was a need in the market, you knew that you could create it? It was like a certain amount of confidence there, right?
Well, of course, but I first started by researching. You know, if you remember the Stanford biodesign process, you always want to identify an unmet need and make sure you really understand that before you even start brainstorming a product. So I spent almost 6 months just talking to doctors, reading medical literature, and just seeing if there really was an unmet need here. And of course, I walked away feeling like this was really significant and we were onto something.
Brilliant. So it's 3.5 years later now, right?
Yeah.
And are you guys, how close to market are you guys?
Well, we're starting our clinical trial in 4 months actually, if all goes well. And then we'll be on the US market by mid-2025 and probably European market by the end of 25.
That sounds awesome. And MedTech is a part of that expansion, growth, yes?
Absolutely. Well, I would like to thank guys like Giovanni and Dylan for putting this on. I've been a big part of helping them do this as well because I've been with Giovanni for almost a year. I've been working with him. And also MedTech Innovator, which is in a way connected to this indirectly because of those two programs. It's helped my company, VeinWay, gain network connections and to be more recognized globally. I don't know if you noticed, I'm nominated for the Rising Star Award tonight, so go vote for me if you haven't.
Any advice to other people out there who know that the market requires innovation? Any advice for them?
Of course. It's when you start to look into a problem, you can walk into a hospital today and find 20,000 unmet needs. You know, there's so many problems out there that need to be solved, and we have technology and people who know how to do it. So building a good team is the hardest part, actually. I think that once you've identified a strong unmet need, find people who will help you achieve your vision and your dream. And if you're motivated enough and resilient enough to handle the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, because some days you're up and some days you're down, you can build a very successful company.
And even when you're going strong, you have a timeline, a long timeline, a long runway to get through, to get out there. Other products can hit market much easier. In the medical area is very, very different, right?
Absolutely. Well, we're a regulated industry, so everything has to be done with a quality system, step by step, right? You have to have your SOPs, you have to have your tests, everything has to be things like sterilization validation and biocompatibility. Some of these tests seem a bit frivolous. Of course, they're important, and it takes longer, but I feel like the vision that what we're doing, right, is we're directly saving and helping people more directly than in any other industry. And I think that's one of the driving factors for me and why I encourage everybody to get into this. You really feel like you're making a direct impact on people's lives.
Jordan Pollack, VeinWay, you're wonderful. Hope you get exactly what you want from this event.
Of course. Thanks, Nick, for having me on.